Okay, so I need to give you guys my understanding of electricity.
Here we go.
Electricity. Maybe?
Electricity.
That's
Sure.
all right.
Close enough.
Close enough.
We don't care.
Whatever. Plus or minus spelled. Okay. Here's how electricity works, at least in my mind. Battery. Oh, and P.S. This is DC.
Oh.
I have no idea how AC works. That shit's magic. Okay. So the way DC works is you have a battery, right? And I'm going to do the very simple power an LED. Okay? So the idea is this. You take a little conga line of pixies, right?
Of course.
Right.
Yeah.
Conga line of pixies,
Got it so far. Yeah, got it.
and they go out here to the LED. And if they can only get to the LED, what happens?
Nothing.
Why?
Because
They can't keep going back to the battery.
Because it's not a conga line if they're jammed up at the LED, right? Like, nobody's moving. So, to get pixies to actually power something, they need to be moving, right? So, conga line of pixies has to have someplace to go.
Right.
One method of having someplace to go would be to conga line the pixies back into the battery, where they are reabsorbed. So, my understanding of electricity is this. A battery creates a conga line of pixies. Those pixies, if they loop back through the battery, stuff can happen over there.
You should have taught my electrical engineering class.
I know, right?
Yeah.
They just keep telling me that I don't actually understand electricity. They're full of shit, because this works. If you want to know how many pixies you've got, right? Like, really, this is just a measure of the strength of the conga line.
Right.
What do you use?
voltage.
Yeah, use a multimeter. So that the strength of the conga line is really just the voltage of the circuit. You guys cool with this? So, it should be noted using Arduinos that the nanos run on 5 volts.
Wait, so would the LED be lighting some of the pixies on fire so you get all of them back to the battery, but it just produce some light?
That's a great understanding. Let's do that. Yeah. You need to get a conga line of pixies here, and then some of the pixies need to carry the burnt remains back.
Right.
No, no.
No,
That's horrible.
Because they do. They like produce
They're
some
helpful
heat and
pixies.
light, and so you lose some of the
Well,
pixies.
no. They get into the
Actually,
LED
use,
and they
use
cast
all the
fire
pixies
fire.
because the voltage drops to 0 past the LED. That's the only thing on there. So all the pixies die. They just get pushed back by more.
Oh, the corpses just get pushed away.
It's a conveyor belt. It's a
Guys, you're ruining
I don't
the
think
pixie
that's how a
analogy.
circuit works. I could be wrong. I don't actually
I
understand
took my
circuits.
engineering class. I know how this shit works.
Okay. Anyway, so
I'm a
pixies,
master of the pixies.
whatever, right? Conga line of pixies. That's all you need. Keep in mind that the bigger the wire you have, right,
The more pixies fit.
the more pixies fit. This is actually an important piece of information. This is why your house should be wired with 12 gauge and not 14 gauge.
Too many pixies.
Not enough pixies. Okay, so 5 volt is what you need for Arduinos. What else do you need 5 volt power for?
To provide current.
No, I mean, what other object in your life uses 5 volt power? Yeah, your phone
Oh.
charger is a source of 5 volt power.
Oh, it's 5 volt. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if you want to power an Arduino, one of the easy ways to do that is with a USB port. You guys cool with that? So, the way the Arduino Nanos work, right? So, Arduino Nano, tiny little thing, giant ass breadboard. I got you guys some smaller breadboards so that you could like pocket them instead of having this giant metal thing. Okay? But the way a breadboard works is important. but I'll explain that in a separate video. The thing I want you to take from this is that the Arduino Nano plugs into a USB port when you want to power it. If you want to power it and leave it somewhere not plugged to a computer, you can use a phone charger brick. Right, that's a source of 5-volt power. The difference between this thing and your phone is that this takes a different USB connector than your phone probably does. So I'm going to pass this around, and I would like you to think to yourself, do I have one of these cords laying around the house? If you do, please bring it in Tuesday when we play with these.
Is it just micro?
Oh yeah, my PS3 has a cord like
Oh yeah, yeah. So it's an old micro.
It's a, I believe it's USB-A. But I could be wrong.
The USB-A is the square bit.
Oh, that's the regular USB. Then it's a micro USB of the not USB, the standard micro type.
Yeah, that's the old micro. Now
Yeah, the camera's still recording, so I need to shorten this. Yeah, they take a funny cable. Find a funny cable in your box of USB cords. Okay? This is the cable that's kind of standard for cameras and stuff. So if you have an old digital camera, that's a good spot to look for one of these cords. Cool. And that will run your Arduino off of either one of your computer's USB ports or a power brick USB port. If you're running it off of a power brick, you oftentimes can't tell whether anything's happening at all. Right? Hilariously, you also can't really tell on the computer. So there is a source of frustration with Arduinos that I'm going to get out right now. Which is you need to look up a pinout for the type of Arduino you have. So I'm going to give you guys nanos. So you'll look up a pinout for an Arduino Nano, and that's going to look something like that's going to look something like that. Which is going to seem totally incomprehensible right now, and that's totally fine. But you'll need it to figure out which number pin you're talking to. Keep in mind the pin numbers that are labeled on the Arduino have nothing to do with what the pin's called in the software.